RBC 3 Review Newest 2026-2027 Actual Exam Preparation with Complete 300 Questions and Correct Answers with Rationales. Question 1. RBC 3 Review Newest 2026-2027 Actual Exam Preparation with Complete 300 Questions and Correct Answers with Rationales, already graded A+, brand. New version. A man went to the home of his estranged wife to discuss a problem they were having over their property settlement. An argument broke out and the man slapped his wife and then told her he would come back and really beat you up if she reported the incident to the local law enforcement. What crime, if any, was committed? Intimidating witnesses or victims, felony. Intimidating witnesses or victims, felony. Question 2. At a trial for embezzlement, Bill testified against the defendant, his former business partner. 2 days later, while the jury was deliberating, Bill received a letter from the defendant, stating you'll be sorry for what you did. The letter also stated that the business they had formerly owned together would be torched. What crime, if any, was committed? Threats of retaliation, felony. Threats of retaliation, felony. Question 3. An officer arrived at the home of a woman who had reported a prowler. The officer found a man in the backyard of the home, but the man claimed that he lived there. The woman identified the man as her former business partner and showed the officer a valid temporary restraining order which forbade the man from coming within 100 feet of the woman. Upon questioning, the man admitted that he had been properly served with the order 1 week prior to the incident. What crime, if any, should the officer charge him with? Violating a court order, missed. Violating a court order, missed. Question 4. A man was being arrested for stealing a bicycle that had been locked up in front of a convenience store. While being handcuffed, he broke free from the peace officer's grip and ran away. The officer eventually subdued the man. Along with the original crime, the man committed what crime? Resisting a peace officer, missed. Resisting a peace officer, missed. Question 5. And attempting to escape, or escaping from the custody, missed. During a trial, the judge decided to adjourn the court proceeding for a lunch break. The judge ordered the officer witness who had been testifying to return after lunch for examination by the defense attorney. The officer witness failed to return. Did the officer commit a crime? Yes equals violating a court order, missed. Yes equals violating a court order, missed. Question 6. A man was distraught by what he felt were false charges brought against his son. He contacted the assistant district attorney in charge of the case and threatened to harm the attorney's son if the charges were not dropped. The attorney was not influenced by the threat. What crime, if any, was committed? Attempting to deter an executive officer from the performance of his duties, felony. Attempting to deter an executive officer from the performance of his duties, felony. Question 7. Obstructing or resisting an executive officer. A college mathematics instructor found a note on his windshield stating that he would be sorry if he didn't give a passing grade to a particular athlete on the school's football team. Although the instructor ignored the first note, he took the second note seriously when he found it taped to a broken window of his home. An officer questioned the athlete mentioned in the notes, and the athlete admitted that he had written the notes himself. Along with the crime involving the destruction of property, was another crime committed. Yes equals threatening public officers, employees, or school officials, felony. Yes equals threatening public officers, employees, or school officials, felony. Question 8. 2 officers detained a man to question him regarding an assault. As one of the officers turned to talk to his partner, the man reached for the officer's firearm and was able to pull it from the officer's holster before the officer could take action. The officer's partner grabbed the man's hand and gained control before the man could use the firearm against the officers. What crime was committed? Taking an officer's Firearm felony. Taking an officer's firearm felony.